Welcome into BC Sports Live for this almost mark broadcast of BC Spark Radio. We got a lot to talk about tonight in the world of sports. We're going to talk about some sports that are currently in season and, of course, ones that have just wrapped up. A lot to get to. We're going to start with the women's lacrosse game. They had a game this evening that just wrapped up less than an hour ago, and it was an unfortunate loss in their home opener. Now, let's discuss their season. They've already gone 0-3, so they've had their first 3 games. In 3 games, they've had 30 goals of offense with 13 assists to add to it. And their shots per game is almost at 30 at 29.67. But their shot percentage is just at 33%. Now, when I look at this team, in particular tonight's performance, because I wasn't at the first 2 games, I definitely saw a team that wasn't prepared offensively. I saw a team that struggled to make good passes. They were not on point. They were kind of wobbly. They were bad. They had a lot of balls going over girls' heads. On the shots on goal, they weren't really on goal. There was shots over the goal, to the right, to the left. I mean, it didn't matter where you wanted to be on the field. It wasn't going where it needed to be. I look at this performance tonight, and I'm kind of concerned. This is coming into this season. They had a lot of momentum from last year. They obviously wanted to get better. Last year started off really, really strong with their nationally ranked victory. I mean, that's huge. When you beat CNU, when you're the lacrosse team, you've had hardships in the past, and then you go in and you beat a nationally ranked team to start the year. Obviously, there was big expectations coming into this year after their unfortunate end last year. You really expect a lot better for the opening starts of the season, and that shot percentage, it really just has to come up. When you're getting 10 goals a game. So they've scored 30, like I said, 30 goals in 3 games. So 10 a game, that's not a great number. I mean, it's a good number. It's an all right number. It's just not going to necessarily get it done all the time. And when I look at this team, I see a team that's kind of struggling to get an offensive check. I'm seeing a team that is not necessarily agreeing with each other at the moment. All can be causes for concern, and I definitely want to see better as the season goes forward. Obviously, it's really early, so I still believe in the team. I believe that they can turn this around. They haven't lost to anybody in the ODAC conference yet, which is a huge plus because ODAC is what matters in sports. When we're here at Bridgewater, we're part of the ODAC, and we obviously want to beat our ODAC rivals. So losses to Frostburg State and Methodist and Marymount, Virginia, those won't be as important as, say, a loss to W&L would. So we definitely are hoping that we can turn the performances around. Yes, I'm trying to speak for the girls. They need to turn their performances around, and I believe that they can find some of the momentum that they had last year. Now we need to get into the men's and women's ODAC championship meet. They had their ODAC championship meet just past Sunday. The girls placed a heartbreaking 4th with the lackluster performance, I would say. When I look at this team, they don't have Amber Selden. I mean, I think that's the only place you can go for. I think that's the only thing. I mean, you still have good girls on that team. Yeah, I mean, Emilee Valley's a beast. She's good. She's great at track and field. I mean, you got a young talent as a freshman who's running nearly 60-second 400, which is, for anybody that doesn't run track, that's pretty good. It's room to improve, but as a freshman, that's really good. I don't know. I sat here on the radio a couple of months ago, and I looked at the men's and women's track team, and I was concerned that their numbers weren't up to par. I basically said that I don't think we had the numbers on the team to be able to contend with some of the other teams, whether it be W&L, because W&L is a big powerhouse when it comes to track and field. Lynchburg's, they're always there, but they're not really taking people down. But they're always there. We kind of rely on Lynchburg to split up W&L's runners because the way track and field works when you're scoring points is in the events. The first place gets 10 points, and the second place gets 8 points, and third is sixth, and so on and so on. You're kind of looking, if W&L gets, first, you're kind of looking for, if we're not in that event, you would like to see Lynchburg hit a second place to split that points rather than them taking first, W&L taking first and second. You would rather, Lynchburg take that second and then W&L take first and third, so they're getting a little bit less points. All of that can add up and can really lower a team's point numbers. So we actually found ourselves kind of cheering for Lynchburg at times during this meet. We were scheduled to be outscored by 70. This is kind of the result of the lack of numbers on the team. When you have 5 athletes injured and not available for the meet, you kind of make do with what you can. But in track and field, there's a vent limit. There's only so much you can do when you've got a team that's fully healthy like W&L that's ready to go fully 100%. And it was just one of those instances. We came really close. We actually got a lot closer than we would have thought. I believe that this is a huge positive to only lose by a couple of points. And let me put it, Jamie Heachel, all these guys, they're great runners. They're great performers. I believe in them. They know what they're doing. They have the capabilities of leading their team to victory. Just the numbers added up. W&L scored 146.5 points in this meet to win the thing. And Eagles trailed, 139. Let me see, 7 points? 7 points was the matter of an ODAC championship or not, and that could have come from any of those 5 injured athletes. They were really good athletes that unfortunately couldn't be a part of the meet. I think that, like I said, I hope in outdoor when we've got a couple more people, there's also a couple more events in outdoor. You don't have the javelin, you don't have disc. Some of those events, you don't have the second hurdle race because in indoor it's the 60-meter hurdles only, and in outdoor it's the 110s and the 400 hurdles. So there's a lot more chances to score points when it comes to outdoor, and I believe that they can really build on this, take this away. Obviously, it's an unfortunate negative, but I think in the end, if they can look at it and say, man, even depleted, we came this close to winning back-to-back championships, because remind you, or I guess back-to-back, I didn't include cross-country, they won an outdoor. So not too long ago, we were ODAC champions. I think they need to take this away as a positive, to get this close when you're projected to lose by 70 points, to get this close to the powerhouse, if you will, and walk away and come into outdoor. I would say there's a huge positive. Outdoor, we're going to be hungry. We're going to be ready to go. I believe we'll make a strong case for ODAC championships again this outdoor, and we'll go back-to-back in outdoor. Okay, so I'm getting word that is all the time we have for BC Sports Live tonight. I'm going to toss it back on over to a host, and for Mark Robertson, this is me signing off.
Thank you, Mark. Next up, we've got Ayinde and Raymond discussing the Oscars. Winners, losers, and do the Oscars matter anymore?
Good evening, Bridgewater. My name is Ayinde.
And I'm Raymond.
And we are going to be talking about the Oscars that happened on Sunday. Finally, the Academy Awards took place.
Yep.
And it's been very controversial, to say the least. I think we have shared some brief opinions a couple days ago about how we felt, but just what did you think of the award show in general?
There were some surprises. I don't know if you follow the Hollywood Reporter, but they always release their mathematical predictions. Mm-hmm. And last year they were 20 of 21 or something like that. This year they got a little more wrong than one. Basically, I think they had Green Book as the 5th film to have the highest percentage to win after Roma, The Favorite, Black Klansman, and I forget what the 4th one was, but they had it 5th. It was pretty low on the list. among other awards as well.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna be getting into some of these categories. Obviously, big one, Best Picture, Green Book winning, over Black like you said, Black Klansman, The Favorite, Roma, A Star Is Born, Vice, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Black Panther. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying like this was not a pick that anybody sort of saw coming.
Yeah, it's kind of like the I would say the safe pick for it. I mean, it's not like it's a really bad movie, but it's not like the best movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all 8 nominees are good movies. It's just it's Best Picture, so you expect it to be the best.
Right. Well, I mean, I like I said, I didn't have that much of an issue with it. I thought like I said, I love Green Book. I thought if you haven't seen it yet, you should. All these movies were really great, but I felt like I don't know. I did want The Favorite to win. That was what I was pushing for, and maybe Roma. It was a bit of a shock, but at the same time, I think people are a little. I think people like Spike Lee, his reaction, the way he reacted. I felt like I understand I understand why you're upset, but like at the same time, there is a time and place for you to like act how he did, and it sort of just felt like. I don't know. It just felt like he was ungrateful to me. I mean, Black Klansman's like let it not like him not winning an Oscar. Let it not take away the fact that Black Klansman was surprisingly well made.
Yeah.
I've been very vocal about my love-hate relationship with Spike Lee. Like, but this is one of my favorites of his.
He could have that film took a lot of risk. That could have definitely blown up in his face and made it just a bad movie. But he was very like controlled with that, with his like style in this film, and I felt like it really paid off. And I thought this was probably one of his best movies. Not as great as Do the Right Thing, but or like Malcolm X, but I think it's up there. It's one of his like top 5, in my opinion.
No, I'm not perfect. I mean, I wouldn't have been mad if it won.
Yeah, I thought it was a great movie. I was kind of rooting for Roma just because I wanted to see history, as it would be the first
Netflix.
Well, not just the first Netflix, but the first foreign language film to win Best Picture.
I feel like when it won foreign language, I was like, the odds of it winning Best Picture are slim to none.
I thought, well, when Best Original Screenplay got announced and Green Book won that against Roma and The Favorite, then I kind of felt that pretty much Green Book was probably going to win Best Picture at that point. Because I could not see Roma or The Favorite winning without winning Screenplay. I saw that as the precursor category for it to win Best Picture. Even though Roma did win Best Director, that doesn't mean that it's going to win Best Picture. Especially in the past few years, you've seen director go to a different film than picture, which is kind of nice. It's like they're celebrating different movies, but before in like Oscar history, usually a film that won director was going to win picture. So. Yeah.
That's what I always thought. Like I remember, what was it, 2013's award season when the King's I think it was the King's Speech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay. As soon as I saw like Colin Firth won Best Actor, and I was like, okay, it's probably just gonna be a sweep from then on. Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture was gonna go to King's Speech.
It was.
Yep.
I believe in the 90s, for all 10 years in the 90s, only one time did director go to a different film than picture. So, like, usually, like, they're really tied together in categories. But lately, I mean, in the past, like, 4 or 5 years, it's kind of gone either way. Like, Reverend won Best Director, but in picture, Gravity's won, La La Land's won Best Director, and not picture. Last year, though, Shape of Water won both, but this year, I was kind of hoping for Corone, but, you know...
Speaking of, like, I know Green Book has been very controversial, but I've been hearing a lot of people, like, talking about the Best Actor winner, Rami Malek, winning for Bohemian Rhapsody. How do you feel about that?
Well, I've seen bits and pieces of Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm actually going to watch it over break. But, I would like to compare that because I've seen Vice, and I've seen, A Star Is Born, and I thought those two performances were pretty
Bradley Cooper.
I thought that he did pretty well because, like, the fact that he learned to play guitar and, like, he can actually sing. whereas Rami Malek I know was lip syncing for his role as Freddie Mercury, and
But that movie won Best Sound Editing.
yeah, maybe that's why. But Christian Bale was also really good in Vice. Like I felt like he was probably one of the top contenders. If it wasn't Malek, I feel like Bale probably would have won it. Mainly because he, and I don't base it just on that he gained 40 pounds. Like that's not acting to me. The fact
that's not the. I mean, that's not the first time he's ever done something like
yeah,
that. Like,
he's a method actor. That's
right.
why.
He did it for The Machinist. Like he cut like what was it, 90 pounds? Or
Oh,
something?
it was a
was
lot.
something.
But then
It was
American
something.
Hustle, he also gained weight back too. But he made the character of or the person of Dick Cheney more complex and demystified it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like the film wasn't like a like a celebratory of like Dick Cheney. It still very heavily criticized him for like everything he did. But Bale played it to such a great degree that I felt like he should have definitely won that.
Yeah, I feel like that's sort of what that's who I wanted to win. I'm a huge. I love Bale. I don't think I've seen a role where I wasn't at least partially invested in.
Yeah.
Rami Malek, he was good he's good in the movie. He's really really good.
Yeah. But
I just when I'm thinking like best actor, I'm like I'm at the end of the day I'm not really going to remember Rami Malek's performance. Now that's not to say a bad thing. I mean, it's still really good, but like when it comes to like the performance, I will remember Christian Bale. Like,
yeah.
That was
his
something. That was just.
He also nailed the voice and the mannerisms that Cheney had, and I thought that was pretty spot on. Whereas Sam Rockwell in the same movie, I felt like his rendition of George W. Bush was more of like a impression, like it was like a Saturday Night Live type thing.
Right.
It just didn't feel as good as to me. But Amy Adams in the film definitely deserved the nomination for playing Lynn Cheney.
Yeah, there's a lot of ones that have been best film editing, Bohemian Rhapsody winning.
Yeah.
That don't know how that happened.
I know some people have called that category as the category that the film with the most edits gets the prize. Whereas editing, it's a lot more than actually just cutting.
Right.
You have to feel the pace, and there's usually supposed to be motivation for edits, and in what I've seen of Bohemian Rhapsody, again, I haven't seen all of it, but what I've seen, the edits that have actually made through to the final cut, they don't look motivated, and they also look relatively bad, in my opinion, for the scene. Especially the scene where they get signed, and the person that's talking, you don't actually see them talking on the screen like for that long, and even when you do, their lip doesn't match up with the dialogue, and I don't understand how that got past everybody and made it into the final cut.
Oof. Yeah, that was one I was just like, I was floored when I saw that. I was like, oh, I mean, sure. I mean, I that should have been maybe Black Klansman. I thought
that was good. No, I thought Vice was a very well edited film because the story basically relies on the editing, because although it's a biopic about Cheney, it doesn't tell like it's not a typical biopic in the sense it tells in a very comic fashion and a very interesting way that I found to be very interesting and as well as refreshing to a biopic, because they can get very boring.
Yeah. This I did want to talk about this a little bit briefly. Best animated feature film. Disney finally was upseated
for the first time since 2006.
Yep, with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse winning best animated feature film. I was so happy. That film it
had momentum at the right time.
And it is so unique. When look, Incredibles 2 is really good. I actually kind of wanted Isle of Dogs to win like a little bit.
Wes Anderson, he can do a lot of things. Like he's one of the big talents in Hollywood, and I'm interested because like he has a new film coming out where it's set like in French Revolution, I believe, or something like that. But yeah, but anyway, back to like Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it's like these are all really good. Ralph Breaks the Internet's probably like the worst out of the
Yeah,
five.
I would agree with that one.
But like it's Into the Spider-Verse. It's just like the animation style is everything about that film just screamed unique, and it's something I haven't seen. Like I haven't been like this blown away by an animated film since like when was it? Like maybe Finding Nemo. It's been a while. Like there hasn't been an animated film that has blown me away like that. It was crazy. And it's really interesting how how much love like Black Panther, obviously, like the superhero love for this year. Like I've always been under the impression that the Academy hates superhero films.
I don't think they hate them. I think that
it's not. I know they don't actually do it. It's always felt like that because like I haven't really seen like there have been some really really great superhero films that I felt like they deserve mention other than best visual effects, which I mean, come on. Like for instance, back I think last year's award show when Logan was up for best adapted screenplay, I was like, that like it didn't win. I think it went to what was the movie with Timothy Chalamet? Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean, really good, but I was surprised Black Panther. I mean, I wasn't surprised Black Panther won Best Costume Design. I do not think.
I was kind of surprised, mainly because Oscars has a history of putting it towards costume dramas, and I thought The Favorite would have won that category, mainly because The Favorite they made their costumes from scratch, and since their budget was really low for costumes, they had to repurpose all the costumes again for each scene. Mm-hmm. So I thought that might have like won them over. I think like the fact that they had Black Panther had tied in so much like that all different cultures from different African tribes, and sort of like it made it seem like it was its own unique world just from costume alone. It's just I feel like that was sort of the tipping point. And best production design also went to Black Panther. Best score went to Black Panther as well. I didn't think best score had any chance of losing. I have been a fan of Ludwig Göransson's scores. He did. He's done most of all the Ryan Coogler films. Well, yeah, because they were like they went to the same college, and I think they were roommates at one point. I think so. I know he said that something about in his speech. He was like, I remember like sitting down writing the first score to your student film. Yeah. And which is kind of cool when you think about it. Yeah. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk, like any other awards? I'm gonna say this. I was a bit salty that First Man won Best Visual Effects. I thought I wanted them to like recognize that film. That film was so underrated. Like nobody went to see it, but like it was really good. It is. It's really really good. I would like to say that Glenn Close losing again. I felt sad for that, especially with her reaction to it, because she had been told that she was pretty much going to win it going into the Oscars for like the past 2 weeks, and then Olivia Colman winning that. I thought that was kind of almost an upset in my mind, even though Colman had won the previous award shows. Mm-hmm. I thought this was Glenn Close's time, since she had not won anything in like 6 or 7 other tries. Right. So that was sort of what we had for the Oscars. Thank you, Raymond, for being here. You're welcome. I'm glad you had me. Yeah. So we will talk to you guys later, and have a great spring break. Good night, BC.
That was Ayinde and Raymond with a segment on the Oscars. Up next, we have Lexi and Quentin, who will be debating Valentine's Day. Alright, guys. So, this is a debate that I've had with a lot of people so far, and I know it's a little bit late because our broadcast obviously got delayed, but the opinion of Valentine's Day. I think I'm here with Lexi today. She loves it, or she thinks it's a great day. I personally think it's kind of a BS holiday. So tell me, first off, Lexi, why you think it's a good holiday, or why you enjoy Valentine's Day. What do you enjoy about it? Like, what makes it a good holiday? Why should we celebrate it?
Thank you for asking. I personally just think it's the day of love, and I like how it's just boosted up so much. I like when I go into Walmart and I see, all the balloons, all the crazy stuffed animals and chocolates and all the really crazy, roses and flowers and all that stuff. I don't think it's a bad holiday. I think it's, people say, well, why do we celebrate a day that should be celebrated every day? True, got me there. But is it every day that you see like roses assorted in like the shape of a teddy bear? No, and I might want to get that for someone. I might want to get it for myself, and I need Valentine's Day to do that. Just saying.
Don't you think that you could get that, though? I mean, I'm sure there's people that specialize in roses year-round because there's always anniversaries and birthdays for significant others. You know, I'm sure you could find that somewhere else year-round, and I don't think you just need Valentine's Day to get it. And here's my biggest thing. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. You go into Walmart, right? You see they got the strawberries out, they got the chocolates out, they got, you know, balloons, flowers, they got everything, right? And so, actually, this Valentine's Day, I went into Walmart, and I was looking around at it all, and I thought, everyone's just getting everybody the same stuff, though, you know? You want to do something unique that shows that you care about someone. Running into Walmart and picking up a box of chocolates and a couple flowers, like, that's not meaningful. So, you know, how, like, everyone's just getting the same thing. Everyone's grabbing, there's 5 of these whole things, all the stuff's gone, so everyone's getting the same thing for each other, right?
And maybe that's because they know it won't be there unless it's on Valentine's Day. They know, hey, I'm not going to be able to get this later in life. I need this special day to get this thing. So what if the same 10 people have the same thing I'm getting for, you know, my special someone? But it doesn't matter because I'm not going to see it and except on this day. So I need it right now on this day because it's Valentine's Day, and I won't see it in March. No, I'm going to need Valentine's Day, the day of love.
Okay, so if it's all about love, do you really think picking up a box of chocolates or some flowers, how does that really convey love? You can get that for anybody, anytime, and you should convey love with anybody, like you said, every day. So, like, I don't understand, because I was thinking about it, I was myself going to pick up maybe a box of chocolates or something, and I was like, well, is that really going to show this person that I care about them? How do you think that material objects are going to convey love? Because Valentine's Day is so materialized, and it's so, you have to get this. It's not about just spending the day with someone and appreciating them. Like you said, it's, oh, they got the chocolates and the roses and this. So how do material objects convey love? I'm just confused by that.
I see what you're saying, but then when I think about Valentine's Day, I also think, well, we have Christmas too. I mean, why do we give people presents on Christmas? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
why do we give people presents on their birthday? Why do we need these materialistic objects? I just think, you know, on that specific day, it's just a special day to, you know, go a little bit extra, you know. Sure, you don't need a box of chocolates to show love to somebody, but it's something extra, you know? And, like, Valentine's Day really, I think, allows you to, like, really get unique with it and just, like, honestly, it's an excuse to get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone gets me a box of chocolates, I'm like, hey, man, I'm not going to reject it. I clearly see that you love me because you got me these cheap boxes of chocolate. That's just me, though. I don't really think, you know, we do the same thing with Christmas. Why do we need Christmas to buy presents for someone? You know, I get there's other reasons for Christmas, clearly. But still, the main point I see with Christmas is, hey, we wake up, Santa's been here. Now we all get to open Christmas presents that we want. And, oh, I got these new headphones. Oh, I got this new action figure. Oh, I got these new pants. All materials. Why do we need that day? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more as far as that goes. I don't think we do need that day. To get gifts for each other, I don't think we need that day of Christmas, which is the same reason I don't think we need the day of Valentine's Day, which is going to bring me to my next point. Valentine's Day excludes half the population because not everyone has a significant other, you know? And, of course, your mom can get you some chocolates or your friends can get you some stuff, and, well, that's nice. Don't you think that Valentine's Day makes people feel bad that they don't have a Valentine? People without Valentines, I've seen people say, oh, well, I wish I had a Valentine, seem kind of down in the dumps on that day because, you know, they see all these people doing all these nice things for them and they don't have somebody there for them the way they want, like a significant other, more than just a friend or their mom.
True. I see what you're saying. Yeah, people do feel lonely on Valentine's Day because I think it mainly targets, you know, couples. So, yeah, people do feel lonely. But then again, I think if they feel lonely on Valentine's Day, you know, regardless, they're going to feel sad any other day they're alone because, you know, they see a cute couple walking, wish I had one of those. If they, you know, go to a party or something, see all these people coupled up, booed up. Ugh, wish I had one of those. You know, I think regardless, they're going to have that same energy when they're single or don't have someone to share it with. You know, and that's just that on that. And I think, yeah, you know, it does kind of make people feel a little bit excluded. But I mean, so couldn't other, you know, holidays and like celebrated days do that as well, you know?
Like
You know
what?
I'm
Like which days are you thinking would exclude people?
Got me there. I'd say, you know, I mean, Christmas. Some people don't have Christmas to celebrate with people. So that might make people feel lonely and sad and like, ugh, why is Christmas this huge holiday? It's just a reason for people to buy presents for everyone, and I don't really have anyone to spend it with. People focus on the wrong thing, you know? Here I am all alone looking at this Christmas tree and no one to celebrate with. So I think it can go either way. Like, you know, that's just, personally, that's just how people are going to feel. And you can't stop that, you know? But just because you feel sad, you shouldn't stop other people who enjoy the day and who want to celebrate, you know? Because, you know, it's just a day of love, man. It really is. Like, love.
just love.
Just love. Like, I really think that's all you need.
Well, I mean, we talked a lot about the buying stuff, and really, I think, you know, I would kind of be about Valentine's Day if it had a different feel, but I feel like in America, we live obviously with a capitalist system. It happens with Christmas too, I think. What do you think as far as, I feel like Valentine's Day is really a commercial holiday. It's a time where Americans get out their wallets and get ready, you know, hopefully the guy, if they're going to be a gentleman, get out their wallets and get ready to spend some money, which, I mean, I really think Valentine's Day might be better for the economy than anything else. What do you think about that? Valentine's Day is a commercial holiday. If there's maybe a deeper rooted kind of Valentine's Day, I think I'd be for it, but the fact that we are so commercial and material in this country, I think, is the reason why I'm not about it.
And, you know, that can be the case. I get that. But I also think, like, just going back to what I said earlier with, like, the other holidays as well. I mean, yeah, like, I don't really know the backstory, so, like, correct me if you know the answer to this, but, like, alright, what about St. Patty's Day? Is there, like, a story behind that? Because, like, now it's just an excuse for, you know, people to buy a bunch of alcohol and go crazy. I don't know the real reason. It's a day for people to, like, wear green. We can wear green every day. We can drink alcohol every day if we're of age, you know? So, I just think, you know, a lot of these holidays and events, they're commercialized, period. So, it's really, you really can't do anything about it, you know? It is what it is. I mean, I just think, like, it's gonna be like that, but I'm still gonna enjoy the day, and I don't really see why we're gonna bring, like, say, oh, God, I hate those days because they're just so commercialized. Well, say that to every other event and holiday then, because that's how it's always gonna be. Like, you know, what else is there? I mean, maybe New Year's. Like, why do we have to have the whole New Year's kiss thing? Why do we have to have, you know, why do we have to have, like, the bubbly and the champagne? Why do we have to stay up till 12? I mean, can't we just wake up the next day, oh, New Year, still same us? Like, it's all commercialized. I think that's with everybody. It's not just going to be with Valentine's Day. It's with everything, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, some people do wake up and they don't even stay up for the New Year. The last point, I know we don't have a lot of time left here, but the last point I want to say is that also, I guess people don't think about the fact that it's so commercialized, and I've experienced this myself. In the past years when I've had a girlfriend or been dating someone, you know, we're in college. Maybe I have to pay for school. There's lots of things we have to pay for. Valentine's Day also feels like puts a lot of pressure on people in relationships and stuff like that because they feel like they need to get something for them. And I've personally been there and felt pretty crappy about myself because I couldn't get what I wanted to get for my significant other. So I just want to say it adds just a little bit more pressure. But I definitely agree. I think if it was less commercialized, like you said, I thought that was a very good point that I'd definitely be all about it. But I think that's all the time we have, so I appreciate that. Thanks for listening, guys, and have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Lexi and Quentin. What a thought-provoking conversation on Valentine's Day. Next up, we have Michael and Justin discussing midterms and how you plan to move forward. Take it away, Michael.
What's up, guys? I'm Justin.
And I'm Michael.
And today we're going to be talking about midterms.
Yep, so they just happened. And most likely we all... Actually, I still have 2 grades I need to get back. So,
yeah. Yeah, I feel like for me, midterms to me, what they mean is tests. Mm-hmm. Like, usually, I mean, depending, like usually you either have tests or you'll have like exams or you'll have like a big paper. Like for the class that we're in, like research methods, like we had that big test. Like, and that week I had like 2 tests,
Really?
and then like a project due in one class and another project. So like, and that was like 2 weeks ago. That was like my midterm. So like some people will have like a week where it's like that, but then I know like my roommate, like he has like all of his tests like this week. You know, he has like 4 tests and like 2. And so sometimes it just piles up, but I guess it just depends on the professors. But like. So I guess what I'm asking, like, so when you think of midterms, what do you think of, like, what are some of the things that you experienced with the midterms?
It's actually, you brought up a lot of good points, and I think for me it's like, it'll either be like a week full of just everything is due and midterms and projects to study for, or like, you know, it'll be spread out and it'll be like, oh, like, because like example, I took a midterm today, so it's like, oh wow, you know, so that's always something interesting. But sometimes it's like, oh, they're all together, but it's just really nice feeling when they get out of the way. For
That's
sure.
true,
Yeah.
especially when it's right before spring break, which is funny because I'm pretty sure midterm grades are due last Friday. So it's like and I guess like it makes sense to call midterms though, because like even though we're past the midway point of the semester, like before spring break, it pretty much feels like the midway point of the semester. Like then, like, you know, as soon as we're done with spring break, like we're gonna be going down the stretch.
Oh yeah.
Like it's that last stretch, and then we have Easter break, and then like we have a day of classes, and then finals. So it's that weird kind of schedule, but also like I think it's nice to have midterms right before spring break, because usually then you don't usually have anything due like right as you get back.
Yeah.
So you have like you might still have a project or 2 to do. Like it depends what kind of class you're in, or you have like a paper or something you might have to work on like over break, but you won't have like everything to stress over. Like I feel like last year, like fall semester was different. Like having like fall break, like you had like I feel like I had a bunch of stuff to come back to, but spring break I don't feel like that at all. Like I feel like professors are pretty like lenient on that. Like, no, I just want you to have a week where you can rest, you know?
Oh yeah, especially, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna rest up this week. Like, you know, I'm not really gonna open up my laptop or anything. I'm just gonna, you know, just enjoy the week and stuff.
So for people like that are super stressed off of like coming off of midterms, and maybe they're kind of worried about like how the semester might shape up with certain classes, like what do you recommend they do for like rest over spring break?
For rest, I think there's a couple things, like, you know, obviously like relaxing and enjoying spring break, but maybe something I usually will do is just kind of calculate out my grades in the future. Like, okay, if like what's the lowest I can get for these, and what's the highest I can get for these and stuff. So like just calculating out grades, it helps me. But some people don't flow like that. They would rather do more like I'm just gonna go for the best grade, and that's awesome. That's honestly like a really good way to live too. And yeah, I think that's probably something that I will definitely do. And I think recognizing that the semester goes by quick, because this semester has just, I really feel like this semester's gone by.
I can't believe it's a halfway point. Can you believe that Friday's March? What?
Oh, I didn't even like.
Friday, March 1st is Friday.
Okay, wow, I did not even put that two and two together. Wow, okay, yeah. That's that's interesting. Yeah. Oh yeah, because today's like what, like the 27th or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. In February it has. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. But yeah. So that, wow. Okay, you just totally got. I did not put those 2 and 2 together. That's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like the semester's been going by pretty fast. So just recognizing that you know we have some time left, but not a lot of time. Yeah. Planning out things, but. I just, again, like these, the first couple days of spring break, I know I'm not going to do anything but just hang out and chill. But, yeah. I would definitely be doing that. And you know, Friday classes, I actually don't have any Friday classes, but...
oh, nice.
Yeah. I used to usually go to the last class before spring break. Usually, sometimes professors will give, like, extra credit if you're there, just because a lot of people aren't there and stuff, but I do think we're supposed to get some weather, actually. So
yeah, we are supposed to get a little bit of, well, they were calling for snow at one point, but then they changed it to rain.
Okay, was it freezing rain by chance?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
I think that it will be fine. Like, I think it's supposed to be like 40s, 50s. So.
Oh, okay, nice. Well, then that's good. All right. That's
also,
really good.
I will say that snow day last week, blessing to me.
Yeah.
Like, even though like Wednesday only had one class, like they also had like a bunch of like we were supposed to have this broadcast last week and a bunch of other stuff, and that just would have made my day like not terrible, but just really busy. And it was nice to just have a break in the midst of all like the chaos and everything. So that was really nice.
It is nice to have like a snow day in the middle of the week for sure.
Yeah.
I think and we didn't get like. From what I remembered, I didn't see a lot of snow when I woke up, but I saw it was like kind of slick, and that was what I noticed about on campus. But then we got the sun, and then the other day it was super nice, like and so that's the other thing too, and I feel like you and I relate on this is like, sometimes when I have a lot to do, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend this day doing that. But then, like, it's super nice outside. It's like 60 in wintertime. And I'm like, well, I'm going to need to enjoy being outside, whether it's doing homework or just walking around campus, doing something outside. Because, we're inside so much during the winter.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things is when it's like a 50, 60-degree day, even a 45-degree day. Yeah. Like, I just like going on walks. Even if it's, like, by myself, I like to just think about stuff a lot. Oh, yeah. And kind of process that stuff, like, whatever's going on, like, kind of on my own.
Oh, definitely. I'm the same exact way, actually. Walking is the best way for me to process things, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, just walking around campus. And, like, there's just, like, you can take laps around campus. There's so many routes you can go. It's, that's the best way. Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah. So, I mean, I think this semester has been, like, not hectic. But, like every semester, like there's going to be busy classes and then there's going to be classes where you can just like chill the entire semester kind of thing. But for me, like what I like to do for rest, I mean, first of all, like this is something that like, and I've experienced this the past week, like getting to bed before midnight is key. Like that's one of I've like this entire week I haven't gone to bed, before midnight, and like I feel awful in the morning just because like my sleep schedule's off and I like to get up early in the morning, and then when I don't wake up early in the morning, it just kind of throws off my groove a lot. So like I would recommend to people who are kind of stressing over stuff like that you guys would just go to bed early. Even if that, and this is something I've learned, go to bed early, wake up early, and get that stuff done. Like I always take, time in the morning just to read a little bit, pray a little bit, just have time to myself. But then, also having enough time to do schoolwork, like just doing that, because I feel like that's less stressful than staying up till 3 a.m. And that, because I've done that in the past too. I was actually have one exam, last year, so my sophomore year spring semester, I stayed up till 6 a.m. Writing a paper. Then I had an 8 a.m. next morning, so I literally got like an hour and a half of sleep. It was awful. So I would not recommend that during finals week in the next month or two. But
I 100% agree. Sleep literally, it improves my mood. I have energy throughout the day. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, and you're right. Getting to sleep before midnight is definitely key. You're totally right about that.
Yeah, but also, like, take breaks, but don't take an excessive amount of breaks. Do work first, and then, like, take a break. And I wouldn't say, sometimes it's different for everybody. Like, watching a YouTube video might be a really good break for somebody, or reading might be a really good break for somebody, or just, like, listening to a podcast, or even, like, taking a nap, or taking a walk, like, depending, or just hang out with friends. Like, that's what I like doing, and something I've learned is get your stuff done early, so at the night you can do something before you go to bed or hang out with people. Because I know, like, at least my friends, we all like to hang out at night. So if they're all hanging out and I'm staying up late during work, then, not always the best thing. But I would just recommend that just for this next season. Next month or two of school.
Right. I totally agree. Yes, definitely. Especially because the semester's sneaking up on us, and so getting the... we're going to go into finals and but and so for the if any student like was taking midterms, they didn't feel confident about something, just know that like it's not over yet. The semester's far from over. Like, even though it's going by quick, you still have a lot of time to get everything done and stuff.
And one more thing I would like to say before we have to go: do not be afraid to talk to your professors. That's what they're there for. Don't feel like they're going to shut you down just because you ask them a question. So.
Yes, I 100% agree. We're a small campus. Yes, use that, and I totally agree. Go to your professors.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for listening. I'm Justin.
And I'm Michael.
All right. Thanks, guys.
See you.
Thanks for a great segment on midterms, Michael and Justin. Up next, we have national sports with Amanda and Justin staying in the booth. They're going to be looking at the second half of the NBA season, the beginning of spring training for the MLB, and how college basketball is looking going into March Madness. It's over to you guys.
All right, what's up, guys? I'm Justin.
I'm Amanda. Welcome back to another national sports segment.
It's been a little bit. There's been some stuff. I mean, we were supposed to have a broadcast a couple weeks ago, and then last week, and there's been so much that's been happening with national sports.
A lot going on right now. So let's just start off. Second half of the NBA season started this week with All-Star break. I guess a week and a half ago now.
Yeah.
And things are looking a little interesting, especially since the start of the second half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're seeing the Celtics falling off.
Oh,
man.
0-3 right now.
Yep.
And it's looking like the Lakers are. I mean, they're 3 games out of the 8th seed right now.
And they got to do a lot, especially with like what division they're in.
Yeah.
And where they got to be. I just don't see them making the playoffs. I can't, especially the teams that are in front of them right now. They have the Jazz, Clippers, Spurs, Kings, Timberwolves in front of them.
Yeah.
Right now, and even though the Timberwolves are like that 9th seed for now, I think it's either the 9th. I don't know. I think the Lakers are 11th, aren't they?
The Timberwolves and the Lakers are tied right now. They're
okay,
both,
it's tied for that seed.
29 and 31, and Sacramento's in front of them.
And I think the Timberwolves are a better team than the Lakers, to be completely honest. Like with what they have and what they're working with after getting rid of Jimmy Butler, I still think they're a better team.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny how the Clippers are the better Los Angeles team after like the Lakers getting LeBron and Rondo and like everybody's like, oh, they're gonna be a top 4 team.
And the Lakers kind of got rid of, or the Clippers.
And the Clippers literally got rid of everybody, and they still have a winning record in the 7th seed right now, which I'm happy about because I'm a Clippers fan.
Yeah, and Doc is, I mean, he's a good coach, and like, just
well,
everything
as a Clippers fan, a lot
them.
of people were like, "Why did you re-sign Doc Rivers? Like that literally makes no sense." But then you like get rid of Austin Rivers, and then we get rid of literally everybody, and then we do a second round of getting rid of everybody this past like trade season.
Yeah.
So what about in the East? I mean, right now we have the Bucks, Raptors, Pacers, 76ers as those top 4 seeds. Do you think that's gonna change at all?
I don't think those 4 are gonna change. They may like flip flop. Like,
who do you think gets that number 1 seed? You think it's gonna be the Bucks?
I think it's gonna be the Bucks. Definitely think the East is gonna have to go through Milwaukee. But I mean, right now, looking at that 4 and 5, like right off the bat would be Philadelphia against Boston.
Philly would, I think.
At this point, Philadelphia would.
But there's still a lot of season left, though.
There's still plenty of season left, but also Boston has the lead in that series right now.
It's true.
So I think they play each other like at once.
But also that was before the Sixers got Tobias Harris.
True.
So and they have their.
A lot of people are calling the 76ers like the best team in the East, and like,
I wouldn't say that, and I wouldn't say that, but I also wouldn't say they're overrated. Because they're not a bad team, but I think it's just like over the next maybe not this year, next year, the year after, they just need experience in playoffs, and they're gonna get to the championship.
That's what they did with getting Jimmy Butler and getting Tobias Harris, and then they were like, once they had those guys, basically said goodbye to Markelle Fultz. We don't need you anymore.
That was smart.
Like that was so smart of them
because now
nothing for them.
Now you have a veteran presence on your team, which is great for them because they're such a young team anyway.
Yeah. Also, Brooklyn sitting right there at the 6th seed is a shock. I think to everybody because they used to be one of the worst teams in the league, and now they're looking at making the playoffs.
Oh man.
So yeah. This one, I think the bottom of the East, I think, has a little more wiggle room. You've got the Orlando and Miami right there, and I mean, I would love for Miami to make it because D-Wade.
Oh, D-Wade last season.
Yeah.
At least get 1 win in a playoff game. Oh, that'd be awesome for him to retire that way.
So, let's move on to. We'll talk quickly about the MLB. So, spring training started last week, and games have just now started.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest news to come out of spring training so far was the $300 million contract that the Padres signed with Manny Machado.
Yep.
And one of the articles I read was that Padres players were kind of surprised at that, and like
that he would choose there.
That he would choose there, and that I guess they had no idea about what was going on. So, but I mean, good for him. I don't think this is gonna change everything for the Padres, but
I think you give them a couple years and maybe pick up a couple more guys, they could definitely be content. They could contend, I think.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think the other big thing right now, I mean, obviously is Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
So Bryce Harper right now, like, is the contract that he's going to sign really, like, worth it, whoever signs him? I don't think he's worth that much money. I think he's a good player.
I think
like, he can transform a lineup, but...
If he could have gotten a ring while he was in Washington, he would be worth a lot more. But I think what some people are willing to pay for him is a little overrated because he hasn't been on... He's kind of been on the down curve a little bit in his seasons lately, so he's still a great player, but I just don't think he's worth as much money as people want.
Right now, I'm just wondering why nobody's talking about Dallas Keuchel still being a free agent. Like, is
he really?
Yeah. Pretty sure he hasn't signed with anybody yet. So the fact that everybody's talking about Bryce Harper... Well, because the Padres are like, why would we go after Bryce Harper when we like still need a pitcher? Let's go after Dallas Keuchel. The fact that he's still... I'm pretty sure he's still a free agent. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, if he is indeed still a free agent, why is everybody talking about Harper when, like...
Because, I mean, Harper's a way bigger story than Keuchel.
Yeah. But still, the fact that he's a free agent still is, like, mind-boggling.
But, I mean, the latest on Bryce Harper is that the Phillies offered him a $300 million contract.
And the Giants met with Harper again.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be an interesting race to see who gets him. But I don't think whoever Harper goes to, unless it's... I think if he goes to San Francisco, I don't think that will make them a playoff contender right away. But I think if he goes to Philly, it could definitely make them a playoff contender with who they already have. The Dodgers, I think the Dodgers are a playoff contender without.
The Dodgers are a playoff contender like every year.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you lose a couple of good guys, but I mean,
could the Dodgers be the Bills of the MLB? Lose 4 straight World Series. Well, it was last 2 or last 3 or something. Last 2 more.
So, at this point, with how things are right now, do you think Harper will be signed before opening day?
When's opening day? Isn't that like April?
Yeah.
I think so.
They've got another month.
I think so. I think it'll be before opening day. I don't think it'll be one of those things where he's waiting till like right before opening day.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how it's gonna happen. I think it'll come in the next week or two. With the updates that are coming up, I think they're coming up too quickly for it to be another month. But again, we said that about Machado like at the New Year, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna sign with somebody in January," and he just signed last week. So you never know.
All right, so let's move on to college basketball. Obviously, biggest story in college basketball is Zion Williams has missed the last 3 games after blowing out his left shoe and hurting his right knee 30 seconds into the Carolina game the other night. And I watched the entirety of that game. And yes, they lost Zion, but give Carolina credit. They were really good and really hot that night. And they deserve to win that game. So, but clearly Duke not having Zion, they're now 1-2. No news of really when he's going to come back or even really what his injury is. They're just kind of saying he's day to day and it's like a sprained knee.
Yeah.
But so there's not a whole lot of news of what, and a lot of people are saying, oh, he should sit. Like, don't risk his career.
I know Duke's coach did say that like his injury isn't serious enough to like keep him out for the rest of the season. But also, if you're Zion, you got to think about your career. But the question is, can Duke win without him? And I'm pretty sure
they can, but I don't think they have no shot in winning a national championship.
Yeah.
Even with him, they have a better shot with him, but I still don't think.
I mean, Tech did beat them.
Yeah, Tech beat them last night.
And they got demolished by UVA like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So, but it'll be interesting. But there still are some really good teams out there right now that are definitely, and I mean, you've got conference tournaments coming up in the next 2 weeks.
So we'll see. I think that'll really test.
The ACC, I think the ACC and the SEC are going to be 2 of the biggest ones to watch because any of those teams could upset anybody, I think, any given day. So that's going to make it really exciting.
Yeah.
Because especially in the SEC, you've got Tennessee, LSU, and Kentucky all right there at the top.
Yep.
And those 3 teams are all really good.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I mean, March Madness, I think, is going to live up to the hype like it always does. So I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's going to do it
Yeah.
for us, and we'll be back in a couple weeks to talk about more national sports. We'll have tons to talk about, I bet. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Amanda and Justin. To keep the sports themes rolling, we're going to have Brandon joining Justin in the booth to discuss the NFL. They'll be discussing the Super Bowl, free agency, trades, and future predictions. Take it away.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Bridgewater?
I'm Justin.
And I'm Brandon,
And
like always.
Yep, and we're here to talk NFL.
Like always.
Like always. All right, so what do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's go chronological order. You know, last time we were on, the Super Bowl hasn't happened yet. The Super Bowl has officially happened, so let's talk as much about that as we possibly can, because there's not much to talk about.
There's not much to talk about. I'm pretty sure it was the lowest scoring Super Bowl.
I mean, absolutely.
Of all time. That was one of the most disappointing Super Bowls ever all around. I think the commercials, the halftime show, and the game, and there was plenty of times where both teams had a chance to come away with the game. Like the Rams, they had a chance and Goff throws an interception. So that's the kind of game that it felt like to me, where they had chance and people got excited, and then one time they don't come up and say, oh well, they'll probably have other chances. Then when they have other chances, they mess up again.
I was honestly worried that the Rams are going to get completely shut out and lay that goose egg. But,
right.
Brandon Cooks dropped 2 potential game-winning touchdowns. Todd Gurley, arguably the best running back in the league, got, I think, 11 carries, was it? 9 carries, something like that. Jared Goff just came out there and looked like he didn't belong there. I mean, just because he didn't. But
yeah. So I think it was a defensive battle, but not the kind of defensive battle I would want to see, to be completely honest.
Well, it was always exciting to see Aaron Donald on the big stage, at least.
Yeah.
You can say that, at least.
Yeah, that's true. So you think the Rams, do you think either of these teams will be back in the game in the Super Bowl next year?
Well, that leads me to my next point. If you have Robert Kraft out here getting fired, that could spin that whole organization out of control. For those of you who don't know, Robert Kraft got in trouble a few days ago for soliciting a prostitute in Florida. And he's really on the hot seat right now, and a lot of Patriots fans are going on right now saying that he's going to be fired from the position. And so if that organization loses their owner, I feel like they're going to lose their stride. But then again, you still have Brady and Belichick in there for another year, and you can never count them out. As much as I want to see the Chiefs there next year, you just can't ever say the Patriots won't be there, because if you say that, they'll be there.
I mean, literally,
so
that's
if we say the
said.
Patriots are going to be there, maybe they won't be. So let's go with that.
Let's go with the Patriots will be there.
As far as the Rams, I think that their time has come and gone. I think they'll definitely be contenders next year. I think they'll definitely win the division again next year, but I don't think that they'll make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because there are other teams that I think are really vying for that spot.
Yeah, you got New Orleans is still looking tough. Atlanta just changed everything. They're going to be healthy again next year. You have Seattle. They're always there somehow every year. Aaron Rodgers came out. Minnesota, they get their stuff together on offense. They're contenders.
Philly.
Bears.
Philly, possibly.
Coach, Philly, well.
Possibly.
If Carson Wentz can stay healthy, because they no longer have the Nick Foles backup.
Yeah, because the Eagles, according to NFL, NFL.com, says that they won't tag Nick Foles, so he's going to be a free agent.
Officially, so leads us to the next point. Where's Nick Foles going?
Man, there's a lot of different situations. I think it's like when one quarterback goes one place, then this quarterback's going to go. So, I think a great spot for him would be Jacksonville. That would be an amazing spot for him because of the offense they already have and then the defense behind it. I think he could do great there. I just don't know if he can do well anywhere but Philly.
All right, check this. Jacksonville Jaguars. They already have a good defense. If they draft at least 2 offensive linemen, train them to be good, get some leadership on that team, and then protect the potential notion of getting Nick Foles to your quarterback. And then check this. If the Jaguars go and pick up Antonio Brown and maybe even consider Le'Veon Bell backing up Leonard Fournette.
Or trading Leonard Fournette.
Or just trading Leonard Fournette.
Because that I've heard that's a possibility.
Fournette's still a great running back. So maybe not Le'Veon Bell, but if you get Nick Foles and Antonio Brown on the same team and you beef up that offensive line,
they'll be dirty.
You have arguably the best corner in the league, Jalen Ramsey, on the other side of the ball leading that defense.
Yeah.
Jaguars, again, competitors in the AFC, maybe.
We'll see. Yeah, I think would be an interesting trade, though, that I think, I wouldn't want to see it happen, but, if I were GM, I'd want to see this happen. If I were the GM of the New England Patriots, I would go out and get Blake Bortles for almost nothing.
Why would you get Blake Bortles?
Because Belichick can turn crappy QBs into pretty good QBs.
Belichick and Brady are going to retire in the same season.
I don't think so. No, Belichick's going to go long after Brady leaves. I think so.
I don't think so because I've said this in I think our podcast or previous broadcast or something. I think that the reason Josh McDaniels turned down the coaching job in Indy is because Belichick pulled him aside and be like, "Hey, I'm retiring soon. This team is yours." And Josh McDaniels has been with the Pats for a long time. He knows that team very well, and I think that McDaniels will be the future of that team. And I don't think a quarterback like Blake Bortles could ever play after Tom Brady.
I guess it does all depend if Belichick stays, but we won't know that for another couple of years, depending on how long Brady does play.
Well, every year we think it's going to be his last year, and every year it's not going to be his last year.
It's true.
So, Mr. Steelers fan over here, why is Big Ben not retiring? He promised the whole world he was. Why is he not?
I don't think he ever did really promise the whole world that he would retire. I don't think it has anything to do with like getting a ring, but
do you think he has something to prove or something after this year? Missing the playoffs, he doesn't want to go out on such a low note?
I would think so, but also like the dude threw 5,000 yards this season. Like, granted, he did throw the ball like most pass attempts, I'm pretty sure, out of any quarterback. So if you throw the ball that many times, like, you're going to get 5,000 yards. But he also led the league in interceptions, too. So maybe it's, a whole, well, and granted, he did say he'd come back before the whole Antonio Brown thing, but it could be like, I can do good without Antonio Brown. Or I don't think it's that, but it might not have to do with prove himself. It might just be, I want to come back for one more season. Like, what else would you need to say?
Well, I could see the Steelers doing a move like this in the draft, maybe picking up a quarterback, maybe like Dwayne Haskins or maybe Will Greer. Having Big Ben coach him up, and then Big Ben retires next year. The young guys ride the bench and watch Big Ben play, and then come up next year.
But then,
what's his face did? Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. Because we said the same thing with getting Mason Rudolph last year. So like, I don't know why every Steelers fan that I talked to has already given up on him. Like, he's only been on the team for one season. Like, how can you already give up on a guy that you spent a third-round draft pick already, and he was not even active for most of the games last year? So how can you already give up on him? So I would keep him for at least one more season. Maybe give him, like, if Roethlisberger's going to start, hopefully, we'll get off to a good start, and there'll be chances. And granted, Roethlisberger is old. There are chances he could get hurt, and you'd have Mason Rudolph be the backup. Him come in a couple of games, maybe he shines and he does well. I don't know. The thing is, like, I don't know as a Steelers fan, or even if I was a coach, how good Mason Rudolph is because he's not getting any time at all. So, and I think next year's quarterback class is better than this year's. So I would rather wait till next year's quarterback class, because if we do end up not having a really good season, then granted, I still think we're gonna go like 8-8, 9-7, 7-9, like middle of the pack, or we just do great. I don't know. It could happen. I don't know.
Well, I don't want to spend the whole broadcast talking about the Steelers, but just one more note. I think some of the the best quarterbacks, and they always bench for at least one season and watch a veteran play.
Yeah.
Which is why this will be Big Ben's last year. Next year it will be his last year, and I think that waiting that long to draft a really solid quarterback, to just throw him in there without first watching a veteran play firsthand and getting that coaching up, I think that might very well hurt their production. So that's why I think you got to get a quarterback this year to get him seasoned for next year.
Yeah, but the thing is, we've been drafting quarterbacks in third and fourth round for the past 2 years with Dobbs and Rudolph. When are we gonna stop? Like, that's my thing. So I don't know. Well, we can talk. Let's talk about some other, big free agents that are coming out. Like Lev Bell. We talked about Lev Bell a little bit. Where do you think he's gonna go? You think Indianapolis, or you think New York Jets?
Indianapolis has already said they don't want him. As much as I would love to see him run behind that line,
oh man. Okay.
I think he's going to Baltimore.
Okay, I can see that.
But
if Le'Veon,
he's got some salt with the Steelers, so
it's true. But I will say this: if Le'Veon Bell is about the money, he's going to the New York Jets because they're the only team that's going to give him the money he wants.
I think Le'Veon wants a ring. He won't get that with the Jets. There's no way. Le'Veon's a selfish player. It'll really be between, would he rather win or would he rather get paid?
Exactly.
And no one knows whatever goes on in Le'Veon's mind at any given time. So
yeah.
I think it's definitely. I could definitely see him going to the Jets. I definitely think that would be a horrible decision for him to go to the Jets. But the Jets need a running back, probably worse than any other team in the league.
Yeah, that's true. So let's talk about like the Antonio Brown. Like, where do you think he will go for a trade, and what will Pittsburgh get in return?
I think it'll be Jacksonville. I really do, and I
don't think so.
Jacksonville has the cap space to pay for it. I don't think that the Steelers are going to get as much as they want out of him because he's already vocally expressed how much he doesn't want to play for them. And I think other teams are going to recognize that, and they're not going to sell high.
Well,
they're probably going to get a third-round pick at most.
I think from what I've seen, interest is starting to grow in AB. So I think they're going to get a low first from whoever. So I honestly could see Oakland getting him. With all the picks that they have.
They also just gave away Michael Crabtree. And yeah, they do. I don't see them giving up a first-round pick, though. Josh Gruden loves them first-round picks.
Yeah, but they have 3, and if you get Antonio Brown for it, are you kidding me? Like, I would give up a first-round pick. A low first-round, not maybe like a top 5 first-round. But the thing is, I think the Steelers should get a first-round, low first-round, get Marquise Brown with it. With that pick. Like, that'd be sweet, One Brown out, another Brown in. But we'll see.
What about Crabtree? Where do you think Michael Crabtree's going?
I don't know, man. Someone that
needs depth.
I could see
him going to New Orleans.
Oh, but they might re-sign Dez though, off his injury.
I keep forgetting about Dez. Well, he only had a 1-year contract with them.
Yeah, but he said the Saints said they're open to renegotiating with him though. So I could see a team like that though getting him. I was thinking Washington, but I don't think Washington needs depth. They need like a number 1 receiver.
Washington needs a lot.
Yeah.
They need a lot.
Yeah.
They have a good defense, but Alex Smith isn't the answer there. Mark Sanchez isn't the answer there.
Could you see Cleveland getting Crabtree? Possibly, like Adam in the mix with Callaway, putting Landry at the slot, and then at the other end Crabtree. Baker Mayfield and then going to a rival.
Landry and
that might actually be good.
It's possible. It's absolutely possible.
And like that would be a smart move for them. I think the Browns need to stop making like really big market moves and start like getting like the small market, maybe some veterans on that team because that's what they need. They're a young team. They need veterans on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this weekend, NFL Combine. I know you probably don't follow it, that much with the draft and everything, but who do you think is gonna have like a big? Whose stock is gonna rise because of the Combine, or whose stock is gonna fall? Just name a player too.
I think Kyler is gonna fall.
Really?
I think he's been so preoccupied in making his decision. I don't think he's had enough time to prepare for something like the Combine, and I think his stock is gonna fall a lot.
Okay.
I think Will Greer, on the other hand, I think his stock is gonna skyrocket. I think he'll be a first-round pick, late first round.
He'll be mid-second. He'll be mid-second.
Mid-second?
I think Daniel Jones, his stock is going to go up, like high up there. So, but
this is the year of the pass rusher, though. Year of the
the first 5 picks are going to be pass rushers unless somebody trades up for a quarterback.
I want to see Atlanta trade up to get a pass rusher.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Vic is a bust.
Vic could be traded. They should trade him.
We should. Why other teams still don't know that he's a bust?
Yeah. All right, well, that's all the time we have, but we are going to come out with our podcast, and after spring break. Yep, Beyond the Blitz, so please be looking out for that, and we'll get that out too.
We'll be giving our way early season predictions. We'll be talking about the draft more, and free agency will be in full swing at that time. So talk about the Combine and all that stuff.
Yeah, all right, we'll see you guys later.
See you later, Bridgewater.
Thank you, Justin and Brandon. Lots of good moves on player movement throughout the rest of this offseason.
All right, up next we have Politicast with Ayinde and Dr. Brophy. They will be discussing the ongoing Jussie Smollett story that has been developing over the past few weeks. Take it away, Brophy and Ayinde.
All right, here we are. This is Politicast. I'm Dr. Brophy, and...
I'm Ayinde. This is the first time I've done this, so bear with me.
We have a really interesting thing to talk about tonight. It's kind of a mishmash between an entertainment story, a politics story, a story about the nature of news and kind of where things are at today. So let's go ahead and talk about the Jussie Smollett case. Do you want to give an overview of kind of the initial happening and then how things have developed?
Okay, so what happened was that Jussie Smollett, who, if you're not fully aware, he was an actor on Empire. Sort of late January, he came out and said that he was a victim of a hate crime. I think he was coming from a subway in Chicago.
Like an actual Subway shop, like
the sandwich.
Like the sandwich, right? Okay.
And he was attacked by two masked men with MAGA hats and making sort of saying like homophobic things and apparently tied a rope around his neck, and so
poured bleach on him.
Yeah, and he got apparently he said that there was a week before the attack he got a threatening letter with pretty much the same kind of using that same kind of language.
Right.
And so this has been ongoing. This has been an ongoing story. And
when did this initial When did the initial alleged attack happen?
So what happened was that on the 22nd of January, this is when he got the letter, and then on the 29th, that's sort of what happened. That's when it actually happened.
Yeah, the event, the alleged hate crime, right? And so why are we using the word alleged here? Because what's come out in the meantime?
What has come out. And this is where the story starts getting really interesting. Is that Chicago police had done an investigation, and it turned out that there is reason to believe that Jussie Smollett actually did the attack actually didn't happen, was sort of either staged or it was orchestrated by Smollett himself. Police had taken two men into custody, and at the 47th hour, then those two men sort of gave all the information. They said that they were paid by Smollett. And it's just this is a very, very interesting story that I've been following for. This is probably one of the more interesting. This is one of the most invested I've been in a story of this magnitude, because I feel like this sets it's scary.
Yeah.
It's really scary to see the length somebody would go to make their name known. And so
is that what people so far believe Smollett was trying to do, was to raise his profile?
I've seen that's what a lot of people have been saying is he's trying to do this because he wasn't getting paid enough on Empire, or that his character was getting really, he was gonna possibly get killed off the show, and so he was trying to try to boost up his
well, now we know what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Right, because he has been let go from the show.
Yeah.
Right. And arrested, actually.
Yes. I think he was charged with a felony. I don't remember what.
I think it was a false report, making a false report, which is a felony. There's a lot of really interesting things that are happening here. You can look at this from a lot of different angles. You can look at it from the angle of how journalism responded, how journalists and how the public responded to the initial attack, and to, it reminds me a little bit, it harkens back, I think, to the teen... I think it was Nick Sandman, the Covington Catholic teen, who had the encounter on the mall with the Native American elder, and how that people kind of jumped on that because they were really ready for something to feed into a particular narrative, because we have these narratives that exist and we want the news to fit that. And so I think that's part of what happened here, in terms of how people reacted. It's really difficult though, and I mean, putting aside the issues surrounding the fact that Smollett was trying to, I don't know if you can though, because you think about it, he's basically trying to exploit the fact that
I feel like what's happening is that Smollett he's trying to profit and bank on the sort of the fear that's been taking over the country necessarily with there's been a very very vocal majority who don't like this the Trump administration and for some people for some people they believe like this kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there has been like the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Anti-Defamation League. They both have produced white papers, reports that show that hate crime has risen over the past few years. Certainly, our discourse around issues of race has gotten more politically charged. And what makes me so utterly angry about this is that all Jussie Smollett has managed to do is to feed into this idea that we don't need to believe victims of crimes. So to me, it harkens back to the Rolling Stone rape case, where you had the Rolling Stone reporting on a gang rape that actually, it turns out, never happened, which was a spectacularly bad use of journalism, and there were so many failures in that story. But what that did is it served to give people who don't want to believe that this kind of stuff happens, they can point to Jussie Smollett, they can point to the Rolling Stone piece, they can point to Catholic, and they can say, see, this is all made up. It's not real. These problems are not real.
It's the first thing I said when I saw the story. I was like, well, if something like this were to happen now, people are gonna be very apprehensive to say, oh, I believe you, if because of stories like this, and that sets a very, very bad precedent for the future.
Absolutely, and I think that, to a certain extent too, what with, the Me Too movement that has been going on, people are starting to have, I think even. You can look at kind of what's happening with the issues of blackface with, our current governor, and people are starting to have victim fatigue, I think. People don't want to hear about things that are happening because they're just so tired of facing the truth. And it's really disheartening to me when something like this happens, because it does take energy to deal with real victims of real crime, and it takes time and energy and resources and emotional resources to care about these people. And so it's so much easier just to say, well, it's all fake, it's all made up, I don't have to deal with it, you don't have to deal with it, there's no race problem, there's no LGBTQ, there's no sexual assault problem, these problems don't exist, let's just take it easy and whatever.
Yeah, but this story is still developing.
Yeah.
Hopefully something will come up. Well, hopefully we'll have a concrete answer. But that's what we had to talk about today. I will sort of be still covering this.
We might have to revisit this after break and see kind of where things are at and how it's developing, because I'm really invested in this story as well.
Yeah. Well, my name's Ayinde, and this has been
Dr. Brophy.
This has been Politicast. Thank you, and have a great break.
Thank you, Ayinde and Dr. Brophy, for adding such a sensitive approach to a very complex and ever-growing topic. Next up, we have a debate between Holden, Lexi, and Emilee on the popular TV show The Office. I don't really know what they will be discussing, but I'm sure it will be to all of your entertainment.
Welcome, BC broadcast listeners. You are here with Lexi. Hope you all enjoyed my Valentine's debate with Quentin. Hopefully pro Valentine's Day, of course. But now, you are in for a real peach and a half, gotta say. I'm here with two of my best buds. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Emilee.
And I'm Holden.
And we're gonna discuss the TV show The Office. Now, I just want to say I am not a fan of The Office.
Tell me why, Lexi. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Please give me a second.
Okay.
Can you please give me a second? Okay. Here's the thing. I don't see why it's such a popular TV show. It's dry humor. I can't get into it. I don't laugh. I hardly chuckle.
Not even a giggle?
Not even a giggle. Maybe a little.
Not even a...
Maybe some.
We're just going
maybe
to
some
mock
air out the
my
nose.
laugh on air.
They-
I love that.
you-
But Lexi, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I need some context. Like, how much of the show have you watched?
Listen. Here's the thing. Everybody keeps saying you gotta get past the first season to like it. There's your answer right there on why I shouldn't continue watching it. If it doesn't connect me, if the first season doesn't bring me in, then it's not a good show.
All right, then provide me an example of a comedy show where the first season just pulls you in.
Friends.
Friends.
Oh, Friends.
Friends. The
Friends.
overrated.
The overrated,
American sitcom.
probably the popular, good comedy sitcom, better than The Office.
All right.
Can I
Talking too loud,
Can I
Lexi.
ask you something?
Lexi, you're
Can I
talking
ask you
too loud.
something?
Please.
Can I ask someone? Do you know how many Emmy Awards The Office won?
Not off the top of my head, but I'm assuming you do.
Do you want me to tell you?
Please.
Emilee, do you know before I go ahead and tell
Just give me one moment, please.
Well, it's 42. It's 42.
Okay.
If you didn't know. Would you like me to let you know how many Emmy Awards Friends won?
I'm sorry, I didn't think this was a debate about Friends versus The Office.
It's not, but this is just
It's
letting
not.
you know
You're
why.
right, Emily. Let's take this back to its original.
I'm letting you
focus.
know. I'm letting you know.
Lexi.
I'm letting you know why The Office.
I would just like our
Is it-
listeners to know that this is just completely
Is it
off
good?
topic.
This is off what we said we were
It's
talking about
not-
today, and we're sorry.
It's
Okay,
not
we're sorry.
off topic.
We're sorry.
You guys asked me to give you a TV show, and I'm giving it to you, and you're just disrespecting me. It won 62, by the way, and 62 happens to be bigger than 42 by 20.
I
just
don't
saying.
think that's how math works.
It is how math works.
Is it really how math works?
I mean, what's 52? I mean, was it
I
62? Sorry.
think 42 is actually bigger than 62.
I don't think so.
I think
Maybe in
it
the
is.
dry humor of the Office world, maybe. Guess what? Didn't laugh.
Do you know how many? Just aside, if we're talking about Friends, I just have something to say. Do you know that Netflix paid like an absorbent amount of money to keep this show on Netflix?
And it
Listen,
sounds like it's
please
because
listen to
it's a good show.
Please listen to me, okay? So I have the talking stick. I am irritated because do you know how many other shows could have been spent with that absorbent amount of money? Like, I could have gotten, like, Kim Possible or, like, what's another show, Holden? Give me another show.
Another show not on Netflix that could be on Netflix, Castle, ABC's production, a wonderful cop show,
Or
much
Kim
funnier
Possible.
than Friends.
Or Kim Possible.
See, the fact that you have to sit here and say, I think the money should have been spent elsewhere, just shows how much Friends is, like, better than The Office. Are they going to pay, like, a gazillion dollars to keep The Office on?
They actually paid $4 billion to keep it on. Yes, they did.
Is this factual?
This is...
Where's the source? Please cite.
I would like to point out
Exactly.
that when you go on Netflix and one of the trending shows that is always what people are watching, The Office.
Friends is up there, too. What do you say?
Friends is up there after The Office.
I think that's just because it's your Netflix.
No.
It bases off what you watch.
No.
More.
No.
See, there you go. You're just not validating anything you're saying.
$4 billion,
Listen,
Lexi.
can I just say something? You know how many times... Listen, I have tried to watch The Office. Before I decided I'm not a fan, I did try to watch it. I did try.
Can you talk about which episode it was that you that you're
Tell
referring
us
to?
about the episode
season.
that turned you off to the show.
Yeah.
The first one.
The very first one.
The first one. It's dry humor. It's very slow. I honestly wanted to, jump off a cliff when I was trying to watch it because I'm like, God, I need some sort of entertainment to really boost this
So
up.
you don't think Michael Scott's entertaining?
Not in The Office.
Did you know that Michael Scott is the world's best boss? You wouldn't get it because you
Not in
don't
The
watch
Office.
The
I
Office.
do know The Office. He has a mug. World's best boss.
Oh my god.
Because I have watched the show. Thank you. I feel like there's nothing further to say at this point. You're not hitting me with anything.
Holden, hit her with something.
Yes, Holden. Hit me with something about The Office. What season and episode do you recommend? What's your favorite?
My favorite season has to be season 4. And I'll tell you why. That's the season where, I don't know, there was some writers strike going on across networks. And
See, this is
Be respectful,
This is
Lexi.
me already. Just talking about it.
So all the episodes were double the time, so it went from 20 minutes to 40.
Oh.
And
That makes it even better.
That does, because it gives more time for the characters to develop. It gives
me
more
a
time
longer
for the
nap, I'll tell you that one.
The storyline to develop. It's where Jim and Pam finally, like...
Fall in love forever.
Okay, Ross and Rachel fall in love, 18 times.
And we're just gonna bring this back to
We
Friends.
were on a break!
Yeah, and that's funny, because people know that punchline.
I don't know that punchline.
I was just saying it because it...
No, because Emilee knows that punchline.
No, I don't know that one.
Listen, and also in my defense, people have shown me, when I tell them I don't like The Office, they're like, oh my god.
It's like a dagger in the heart.
Yeah, and then you know what they do? They show me their favorite season or episode of The Office, and guess what? I still don't laugh. It's weird.
Alright, have you seen the episode with where Dwight causes all the fire alarms to go off?
That is the main one people drag me to.
And you didn't think that was funny at all?
I didn't think it was funny.
Why not?
Because I didn't laugh.
Okay.
Why not?
Because it wasn't funny.
What? I'm so sorry, Holden.
No, you're fine.
Can I speak?
Yes.
Okay. What about the CPR training episode? The iconic. It's on your Twitter feed probably at least 15 times a day.
Okay, you ever seen like a stand-up comedian say a joke and no one laughs?
Yes.
Probably every time I talk to you, Lexi.
Probably every time I watch The Office. Cricket. Am I right?
No, you're not right.
I'm not right.
You're one of 1% of the world who thinks this.
I'm not.
That's from...
I'm just going to take this back to Friends real quick. If we looked at the season finale viewers, there was 5.4...
I think I'm losing brain
5.4 million viewers for the season finale of The Office. You want to know how many there were for
Did you really...
Friends?
Are these real statistics?
52.6 million viewers for the season finale of Friends. And I'd like to say Friends also has 10 seasons as opposed to The Office, which has 9. So let's show which one was worth making more time for. You're not hitting me with anything, guys.
Holden, bring your A game.
Bring mine.
Are you guys doing research right now while we're in here?
I'm checking the Pew Research Center as we speak for Office.
Listen. I just don't get, why is it so funny to you guys?
Because
enlighten me.
dry humor is the only humor that should ever exist.
Nobody wants to laugh at dry humor. Nobody wants to eat a dry biscuit. You know, it's dry. You don't want
Right, but you know that you never have that moment with your friends where like you said this one joke so many times you don't even have to say it. You just look at them and you know that you're both thinking the same thing.
Yeah, sure, of course.
That's exactly what The Office is. Every time Jim looks to the camera, every time Pam makes her face, like it's supposed to be funny because you don't even have to talk about it.
That's beautiful because I still don't laugh because it's not funny. I mean, every time I look at the camera, I'm gonna laugh. No.
All right. When I Google,
let me know when you guys find your research that you should have already had done before this segment. They wanted to make it 15 minutes, and they're not even giving me 15 minutes of facts right now.
Excuse me. Hello. Okay. If you Google the 65 absolute best moments from The Office, I will read them to you, all 65.
I bet you Friends has 75.
Okay. The Dundies. Nothing beats your first Dundies. Okay, this is from Mashable Entertainment, just so we are giving a verbal citation, because we're comm majors, so we gotta do that. But, Dwight blasting Everybody Hurts in his car.
You two are the only people laughing right now.
Bob Vance Refrigeration.
Okay,
we have 5 minutes to go, guys, so...
I hope you guys hit me with 5 minutes of facts of why The Office is good, because you're not right now. I don't understand what makes it so great. It's so slow, it's so quiet, it's so dry, and it's bland.
Give me another show.
It's so overrated.
Right. Can you give us other comedy show recommendations, then, please?
Big Mouth.
Okay, we can't talk about that here. We cannot talk about that here.
Okay, how about nope, that one won't work. I'm gonna say Shameless, maybe.
I don't know that one.
What about Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh, the one with the cops.
Do you think that one's not funny as well?
Listen, I tell you, I laughed harder at the In Sync where they sing that one song. Over, I laughed more than I laughed at any of the clips anyone's ever shown me of any of the Office episodes.
So you didn't laugh?
That one scene makes me out-laugh anything I ever laughed at The Office. And guess what? I didn't laugh at The Office. I don't get, what is the big deal? Please. Listen, when you show me an episode and you see me laugh, then I might give it a second try. But if I can't even make it through the first season, if you can't pull me in on the first season, you're not doing your job as a TV show.
Listen.
All right, but it's a show about, like, the long run. You know, you've got Jim and Pam's relationship lasting the entire season, basically. So shouldn't your viewership...
Best love story of all time.
Shouldn't your viewership last that long?
Shouldn't I be interested in the love story from the first season?
No. How are you not, though?
Because it was bland. Dry.
Bland? Jim's in love with someone who's engaged. That is the exact
That's dry.
opposite.
That is
doesn't make me laugh. Wasn't interested in keeping up.
All right, well, don't look at it as a comedy. Look at it as a family show. The people in the office become a family after 9 seasons
I'm only
together.
going to watch comedy shows.
You don't watch anything other than comedy.
I mean,
nothing else.
No, you got me there. Good point. Fair enough.
Thank you.
But it's still not funny. Listen, if there was a doodle poll right now, I would love to see which one wins to my BC viewers, The Office or Friends.
I feel like we may not have argued our side well enough, but The Office would still win.
Because we have 2 minutes, people. We have 2 minutes to really get this one home, guys.
You guys have 2 minutes to finally, just say something that makes absolute sense for why The Office is good. I have yet to hear it. You gave 15 minutes of nothing.
Okay, well, we're getting some viewer polls in the group chat that we have.
Okay.
And 2 of them are voting for The Office. This is just a group chat.
How many people are in this group chat?
There are 4 people, 2 of us, 2 of them being us. But the 2 people that voted for The Office are others.
Is this a group chat with just people who love The Office?
It's actually...
This isn't just to any other general population. This is just specifically this one group chat.
Okay, ask your group chat in these last 2 minutes.
You know what? I don't even need to because I already know the answer.
Well, let me ask you this.
Please.
All right. This person on Reddit says that they watch Scrubs, right? And a show about nurses, and that they themselves were a nurse. So do you think The Office would appeal to someone who works in, say, a business aspect? Because, I'm a business minor. I think that some of the things they talk about are pretty hilarious.
I don't know why being a business minor is relevant.
I'm just saying, it's a way to relate to it, you know?
You know, I feel like more people can relate to friends. A bunch of friends having troubles and good times.
What if I have no friends?
Well, then, I guess you won't get any by watching The Office.
Quote Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you're boring.
You're boring.
So, in conclusion...
Yeah, conclude this up. Conclude this up.
This got nowhere.
The Office, a timeless show.
Are you guys sweating right now? Because I'm sweating.
No, I'm comfortable.
A timeless
Oh, we gotta go.
about...
It's time.
Is it over? All right. Well, thank you, Bridgewater, for listening to our debate.
To all
over
my
The Office.
Bridgewater viewers, if there were a doodle poll, please vote The Friends or The Office.
Which one
is better?
I will be making this poll soon.
All right. Well, BC Radio, this has been Lexi, Holden, and Emilee.
This has been real, guys.
Signing
Goodbye.
off.
Thank you, Lexi, Holden, and Emilee. I don't know if we came to a conclusion there, but it was nice to hear the laughs. Next up, we have the Creative Writing Corner with Cayla Riddick, and she will be discussing some more of her original pieces tonight. We are ready when you are, Cayla. Take it away.
Hey, guys. He said, my name is Cayla Riddick. I'm president of the Creative Writing Club, and I got actually some stuff that's not mine this week. Got some horror stories from our vice president, Emilee Miller. Again, Creative Writing Club, we meet at 5 in Bowman 312 on Fridays. We won't meet this Friday because it's a break. But when you get back, if you ever feel like writing or just want some memes and some fun, stop by. Again, Bowman 312 at 5 on Fridays. Without further ado, I will read a story that was written by Emilee Miller, and it's a scary one, so be wary of that. Okay, here we go. Every day I walk this earth, the more I realize that I hate people. I walk this earth,
And I did know someone was stalking me. I didn't realize someone was stalking me until random pictures of me kept showing up in my mailbox. I was not scared at first. I thought it was cute that I had someone who was admiring me. I started to get scared when I noticed a car following me. Every day. I would become more scared when the car got closer to me. And closer each day. Today was I could almost see into the car, and that's when I decided to call the police. Hello? What seems to be the problem? Someone is following me, and they're starting to get really close to me. Where are you at now? I'm on a back road near my house. I don't know the street name. What's your name? Susan. Well, Susan, can you tell me what the person who is following you is doing right now? Oh my, their light just turned on. Susan, stay on the phone with me. I'm sending the police to your location. Okay, anything else? Stay on the line with me and keep driving like you don't notice anything. Keep walking like you don't notice anything. I did as I was told. I kept looking back every couple of seconds, and it's hard for me to tell if the person is still behind me. After I looked back at the road, I felt a little nudge. Oh my, I think they're trying to run me over, I yelled into the phone. Okay, remain calm. The police are almost on the road. I did as I was told. I texted my parents telling them that I love them and forever and always. Also, that someone was still following me. I don't know if I would be able to come home tonight. My mom started to blow up my phone with calls, so I shot her another text saying, I'm on the phone with the police right now. I know that my mom is extremely worried about me. I really hope I make it home tonight. A couple of seconds went by, and I heard the police sirens. I sighed with relief. I started to calm down and finally walk at a normal pace. The police pulled up right behind me. I noticed the car wasn't behind me anymore. I shot my parents another text saying that the police are here and that everything is finally okay now. The police came up to my window, knocking on it. The police came up to me and asked if they were gone. And I replied with, yeah, I'm fine now. Someone has been stalking me for weeks now. I thought it was cute at first because, pictures in my mailbox, nothing else I'm okay with. Today was the first time that they actually really got close to me. Ma'am, if you have a problem like this again, just call this number and we will be to your rescue. Also, I could get you a little bit of protection on your walks home, or a ride if you ever wanted. I nodded my head again, and I drove off once I saw the cop get back into his car. And I ran off after I saw the cop get back into his car. After a couple more minutes of driving, I finally made it home. I walked through the door. My parents ran up to me and hugged me. My mom started crying. After a couple minutes of hugging and crying, we finally pulled apart. You must be starving, my mom said. I nodded my head and we all went to the kitchen. My mom wouldn't stop staring at me. My dad wouldn't stop staring at her. No more walking alone at night, my mom said. I nodded my head once more, and my mom gave me a stern look. I finished my food and got it from the table. I'm going to bed now. I walked upstairs to get ready for bed, and my window, I noticed it had been left open. I thought maybe it was just the wind, so I got into bed and closed my eyes. I don't know how long I was asleep for, until I felt a hand cover my mouth. I tried to scream, but I couldn't. I got dragged out of bed. I ended up passing out. I woke up tied to a chair. My head was pounding, was trying to regain my vision. Something stinks in here, I thought to myself. I heard the floor creaking above me, then the door opened and the light came on. I tried to view my surroundings. I think I'm in a basement. I hear wooden walls. I feel concrete floors. I scanned the room to find what was that smell. I looked in the left corner, and there it was. A body. And it wasn't moving. It looked like it had been there for some time now. I noticed that there were 3 items near it. After I realized what the items were, while trying to figure out what the items were, a voice echoed down the stairs saying that I had been chosen. Chosen for what? To figure out who killed my daughter. Sir, I don't know you or your daughter. You should call the police. I have been following you for some time now, and I know that you are studying to be a crime investigator. I also know that you are very smart. I sat there confused. Could you at least untie me first so I can see the crime scene? Yes, but don't try nothing funny. The door locks from the outside and there's no way out. If you figure out who killed my daughter, I will let you go and never bother you again. Okay. The man came walking down the stairs. I couldn't see his face. He was a tall, heavy-set man. I couldn't see any tattoos. I rubbed my wrist once. I was set free, standing there with my head down. Thank you and good luck, the man said. And that's the end of chapter 1. This is a long series. It's going to end up being a book one day. Yeah, as of right now. That's chapter 1. Yeah. First scary story to share with you guys. That was pretty cool. Because I'm running short on time. I think I can end it with a poem. Alright. I have a final poem for you guys. This is one I wrote this week. It's called Whole. You are gone. No matter how much I cry, no matter how much I talk about it, no matter how much I scream, no matter how much I hurt, the pain never goes away. I could pretend you are still alive. I could talk to a fake you for days on end. I could laugh at all of our memories. I could realize that what I'm doing is stupid. I could then cry myself into dehydration. I could scream for days on end. I could sink into a depression for the rest of my days. But nothing I could ever do could replace the hole left inside me by you. Kind of depressing, sorry, but yeah, one of my poems. You got scary story, you got a little bit of emotional poem. That's the clearly creative writing club varies on what we write. We have all types of writing. We even have songwriters. It's poets, stories, songwriters, science fiction, you name it. So again, you don't even have to be a writer. I give prompts for you guys to write with. So if you ever feel like writing or in the writing mood, just want to come and look at some memes and have some fun, let me know. Again, Creative Writing Club, we meet in Bowman 312, Fridays at 5. I'm the president, Cayla Riddick, and I hope to see you come out one of these days.
Thank you, Cayla. Our last segment of the night is Squawk Talk with Raymond and Justin. They're going to be discussing upcoming spring break and activities related to it.
Hello, Bridgewater Eagles.
What's up, guys?
I'm Raymond Alexander.
I'm Justin Rogers.
And this is Squawk Talk, the radio broadcast made by Eagles for Eagles. Mm-hmm. So, Justin, what are you talking about today?
Well, let's talk about this change of weather that we've been having lately.
Yeah, it's been up and down. Spring has sprung.
Yes.
Almost, right?
Almost. Well, let's talk about how we had snow on Wednesday of last week.
Yeah.
And then the following day, 60 degrees.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
really?
You know, I'm kind of happy that it's going to be spring break because it's going to snow in my area on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I know it's supposed to, like, rain most of the week where I'm from.
Yeah.
So...
Does it flood where you're at?
Mm-mm.
Not like Bridgewater's campus?
Mm-mm.
Ah, so no puddles?
Nope.
No. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
You got to do anything like outside for spring break?
I'm going to be working at camp, but that's pretty much it. I'll probably just be chilling at home mostly, but yeah. But I feel like it's like, I heard a lot of people like, oh, I'm going to the beach. I'm like, yeah, it's getting nicer, but I think it's still too cold.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff you can do to the beach that's not, water related.
Like what? You tell me, what are some things that you can do at the beach that aren't like water or sand related?
Oh, or sand?
Yes.
Well, sleep.
On the beach?
Tanning?
Ooh, yes, when there's no sun. It could be cloudy that day.
Oh, you're just saying it's could be cloudy. Are you weatherman?
Yes.
So you got a degree in meteorology?
Yes.
Actually, hold on. I think that's meteors, right? Space?
Yes.
I don't know.
I
Don't they have to have a degree? Do they?
I don't know.
Can I just be a weatherman? Can I just roll up to a town and just say that I'm gonna read the sky for them? Read a radar, you know? Well, like, okay, but like in all seriousness, it's gonna be nice for spring break.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna catch up on sleep.
Yes, I do feel that.
Whether it's at the beach or not.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I might go to the beach.
True. Take a nap on the beach.
But not in the sand?
Not in the sand, though. The sand is the one thing I do not like about the beach at all.
Really?
Like, it just gets in everything. Like, it's just like if you want to eat something, probably the beach is not the best place to eat something. And I feel like it just...
define, like, what are you, like a snack or like you gonna have like a sandwich?
Even
like
a
meal?
snack. Like, okay, a sandwich is the worst.
Well, yeah, no.
Like, it's just
Do you wear
awful.
socks? At the beach. Not like in...
Do I wear socks? Well, Raymond, do I wear socks? Like, oh my gosh. At the beach? I do not wear socks.
I was about
at
to
the
say,
beach.
I was like, are you the person that wears socks?
No.
Well, I'm just saying, because like you said it gets in every place, and I was like, if you wear socks, yeah, it gets in every place.
Mm-hmm. That's true, but
I mean, like that's, or like when I'm at the beach, I mean, I have like Twizzlers there when I eat.
Okay.
I don't know why, but like after you get out of like salt water, eating Twizzlers tastes really nice. I'm not joking, like that's a thing.
We're gonna have to try that next time.
You try that, get the cherry ones, not the...
Get the cherry one?
Yeah.
Wait, you're talking about like the peel ones?
Yeah, you can like peel them off.
Oh
and you
yeah,
peel off,
those
like...
are so much better than the
Yeah,
other
the bigger
kinds.
ones?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, why is it that people say like the cherry ones aren't good? Like they're so good.
I mean, what other ones are you gonna eat?
Exactly.
Like, there's no debate about that.
That's true. Now, do you like the ones where you like peel it off, or do you like the ones where you have to like bite it off?
For the beach, peel off.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in general, what do you like better?
I don't know. I kind of like the ones that you just eat better, like when I'm not at the beach.
So you just like the peel ones for the beach?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like after, you know, getting in the water, doing some wave jumping, some boogie boarding.
True.
And then get out and you get the peel ones. That's
True.
like a good snack.
That is a good snack.
Honestly? Yeah. And then, like, I also have, goldfish when I'm at the beach.
Okay.
And then, like, I think I had chips last time. But, you know, it is up to you. Although I would not necessarily bring a sandwich.
No, sandwich is literally the worst thing you can bring to the beach.
The bread would get soggy.
Yep.
When you touch it. Unless you wipe your hands off, which, I mean, hopefully you do.
Yeah, hopefully you do. That's true, that's true.
Just go in there with, like, wet hands.
Yes.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Yes, that is true. But, also, you're talking about goldfish, just came to mind. Have you ever tried whales? Whales?
Sometimes, yeah.
I think whales are better than goldfish.
No, get out of here.
Oh, come on. To be completely honest, come on.
You
Literally all I taste...
They come in one flavor.
Whatever. No, I don't care.
You got multiple flavors of goldfish.
And?
Yeah?
And
they're better.
No, they're not. They're not better. No, they're not.
You kidding me?
Dude, I cannot... Like, I like whales better because I don't like going into the goldfish. I'm pretty sure, like, all I taste is salt. Like, all I want is that salty side. But, with whales, you get more of, like, the cheddary taste, and you get
Have you ever had flavor blasted goldfish?
Oh, that's different. No.
What do you mean that's different? They're still goldfish.
I'm just talking about original goldfish.
Oh, you're just talking about original.
No, I'm not talking about, like, the different kinds. Like, that's a different... But, like, just the original goldfish, I think whales, their flavor is better.
But, like, for some reason, and I've noticed this, like, I can buy goldfish at Costco, okay? Those, like, 3-bag things.
Yeah.
Whatever. They taste different than the goldfish you buy at Walmart. Same flavor. They're different. Some reason, Walmart's is better.
Are you talking about, like, the,
So, like, you go to Walmart, you buy the carton ones.
Oh, the carton ones. So you're saying, like, the carton ones are different?
Yeah, they're different. They gotta be different, right?
Though. Yeah.
There's something up with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're, like, roasted or something.
Because they do taste different.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was noticing that the other week, and I was like, I gotta be crazy. And then I went back and bought the Costco ones, and I tasted them again, and they were different. They tasted, I don't know why.
Right?
But if you want to taste something different about goldfish, you eat chocolate, and then you eat goldfish. Like, you eat a chocolate bar, and then you eat some goldfish. It tastes different. I'm not kidding. Like, this is a thing. You look this up. try it next time. And it'll taste better than whales 100% because whales is garbage.
No, whales is not garbage.
Okay, no,
100%. Whales is not
saying
garbage.
I'm saying this. Whales is like the off-brand goldfish.
Doesn't mean it doesn't taste better.
Oh, no, it is trash.
No, it's not trash.
It is trash. There's no...
Nope.
Your argument is there's cheddar that you can taste.
It literally if you want, the only reason that people actually eat goldfish is to get some sort of, to me, goldfish is more, I view it, just to be completely honest, less as like a cheese kind of treat and more as like a cracker. That's me. Like that's the kind of thing, like if I'm going to the KCC and I want like something to go, obviously I'm going to get goldfish. Like, because, like, that's just, like, a good snack to have. But I'd rather have whales. Because that's just something, like, just, like, the taste lasts longer. And it just actually tastes like cheese. So, that's just my opinion. But, yeah.
Well, they are called a cracker. Like, that's what goldfish is. It's a cracker.
Okay. You got me.
I'm not going in for, like, cheddar. I'm going in to eat.
That's true. That's true.
And I'm telling you, whales is not what they're not what I'm going to get. No.
Whales are better.
And you're going to take that to the beach?
Yes, I'm going to take that to the beach.
Ah, man. This is why your beach experience sucks, man.
Yeah, apparently so.
You got to take goldfish and licorice.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, goldfish and licorice?
Yep.
Next time?
Mm-hmm. The peelable kind.
Okay, and 100%, I'm going to tell you that I had a better experience.
No, now you're just going to do that because of spite right now. You're just going to be like, I don't care like how good the goldfish and licorice is. Where's is better because, you know, I can't admit I'm wrong.
Look, man, I like goldfish as well. I'm not saying goldfish is trash like you're saying that whales is trash.
No, I'm saying goldfish is better.
Okay, and I'm saying whales is better. See, it's not bad that we have differing opinions.
Oh, I know it's not bad. I'm just saying that your opinion is wrong.
And that's fine.
I'm just saying that when you go to the beach, goldfish, licorice is going to taste a lot better. You can tan. So definitely, like, there's a lot of stuff to do without going in the water on spring break, to be honest.
It's true. It's true. You could just get up on sleep.
You can go putt-putt golfing.
Ooh. That'd be a lot of fun.
Technically, that's at the beach most of the time.
It could be at the beach, yes.
You ever been to Ocean City?
No, I haven't. Well, actually, I have once.
You ever go to, like, their, get that caramel popcorn?
No, not there, but I've had caramel popcorn before.
Yeah, it's like Fisher's. I don't know if that's, I know that's only in, like, Ocean City, at least, maybe.
I've never had that before.
It's pretty good.
It's really good?
Yeah. And then you go down to the boardwalk. You can go to the boardwalk, too, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I like one of the things I really like doing at the beach is going and like getting seashells. That's one of my favorite things to do.
In the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's alright. I used to do that as a kid. Now I just, you know, sleep. I don't get up that early when I'm at the beach.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, looks like that's all the time we have for Squawk Talk.
Yes.
I'm Raymond Alexander.
And I'm Justin Rogers.
And thank you all for listening, and good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Raymond and Justin. I've never been more excited to eat licorice on the beach.
That's it for all of us at BC Spark Radio. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.